Welcome to the Grae Area, the place where we make peace with complexity, sit with contradictions, and honor the in-between. I'm your host, Thomas Brown Archangel, whichever one you want to call me is cool. And today's conversation might make some people uncomfortable, but you gotta get uncomfortable at a certain point in time. But this the one we need. Because in a world that tells us to love ourselves, seize the moment, and never settle, we've blurred the lines between three powerful forces: narcissism, self-love, opportunism. On the surface, they can look the same, but underneath, they're often moving in a very different direction. I'm gonna break them down today. Alright, let's be honest. If someone walks into a room confident, driven, and unbothered, we don't always know if we're witnessing self-love, a narcissist, or a master opportunist. Why? Because all three can set boundaries, demand respect, prioritize themselves, walk away from what no longer serves them. But intention, you get the word quote unquote, intention, is everything. Self-love heals, narcissism manipulates, opportunism exploits. Same behaviors, different roots. Alright, we're gonna start with the one that everybody threw around for a long time, for a good number of years or whatever. Narcissism. At its core, narcissism isn't true confidence. It's a deep void being masked as certainty. The unhealthy version is fueled by entitlement, control, lack of empathy, constant need for admiration. It's not I love myself. It's I need you to love me so I can feel real. But here's the nuance. There is a spectrum. Healthy narcissistic traits do exist. A bit of ego can help us survive rejection. A strong sense of self can protect us from being walked over. But when love of self turns into worship of self, we've crossed the line. Alright, let's talk about self-love. Term that's become trendy but often misunderstood. True self-love isn't loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't need an audience. It looks like accountability, grace for your own healing, saying no without guilt, accepting your worth, independent of performance. Self-love says, I matter and so do you. It's rooted in balance. You protect your energy, but not at the cost of someone else's soul. Where narcissism feeds validation, self-love can sit in silence and still feel whole. Now let's enter the world of opportunism. Healthy opportunism looks like strategic thinking, courage to pivot, capitalizing on a moment without betraying your morals. But unhealthy opportunism, that's exploitation. That's taking more than you can give, using people as stepping stones, abandoning your loyalty for leverage. In its worst form, opportunism is a performance of connection for personal gain. I know we done seen that plenty of times though. And when it's masked with self-love or ambition, it gets dangerous. So why do we confuse narcissism, self-love, and opportunism so easily? You see how I said all three of those words so smooth without getting tongue-tied? Woo, that's cool. But anyway, again, I asked the question. So why do we confuse narcissism, self-love, and opportunism so easily? Because the world rewards outcomes, not intentions. And narcissists may rise fast because they dominate. And opportunists may win because they know when to lead. And someone practicing real self-love might be overlooked because they're not loud about their power. Man. In a performative world, quiet alignments get ignored. But real love of self doesn't need to prove anything. This isn't about judgment at all. No shape, form, or fashion. It's about awareness. Ask yourself, do I love myself or just fear being alone? Am I saying no because of my values or because I can't handle discomfort? Am I walking away because it's healthy or because it's convenient? Do I leave people better than I found them or just empty? It's not wrong to want to win. It's not wrong to put yourself first. But how you do it and who you become while you're doing it, that's the gray area. In a world of mirrors, it's easy to build an image. Harder to build a soul, though. True self-love doesn't demand a stage. It lives in the quiet choices, the kind boundaries, the honest no's. Narcissism chases worship. Opportunism chases advantage. Self-love chases truth. And if you're still figuring out which one's driving your decisions, that's okay. That's the work. And we all gotta work. Because the goal isn't perfection, it's clarity. And clarity lives here, in the gray area. Thanks for tuning in to the Grae Area. You know who I am, Thomas Brown, Archangel. Whichever one you want to call me is cool. If this episode made you rethink your reflection or someone else's,